And we are live. Audio is all good. So, hello again. Welcome to episode 6 of Exclusive Release. I am one of your co-hosts, Jonathan Tarzantium. This is my other co-host right here.
Sal.
We've done this like 6 times. How do you not have that down by now? I'm not going to introduce you for you. You're not a child. You're not my son. This is my son, Sal.
This is
Say
called
hi,
comedy.
buddy.
It's called comedy.
Yeah, okay.
I do it for comedic effect.
Sure. That's what they all say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you to our mixer, Roy the Hamster, of course. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but I'm sure that he will watch later because he's a great supporter. And thank you again to A4G for supporting our stream. Sal, what sweets are you eating today?
Well, no cookies this week because apparently my mom's on a health kick, so she threw away all the cookies in my house.
Threw away your cookies?
Or she just didn't buy any. So the cookies from last week were shit. They were so bad. They were the gross lemon cookies. But it was Valentine's Day last week, so obviously I have a lot of secret admirers. Mm-hmm. So they gave me truffles, and then these caramel chocolates.
Dude, I freaking love
Rolos.
Dude, those are amazing.
And then I got some Ferreros. These are delish. As you can see, I already made a dent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm on a health kick. Eating healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, eating some chocolate instead of cookies.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
And a cheesy gordita crunch.
Cheesy gordita crunch. All right. Well, that's a good setup you've got there. This week's gonna be interesting. I kind of liked last week's loose setup.
I got tea too.
Oh boy.
So I'm being healthy.
I have La Croix. That's my healthy.
La Croix.
La Croix.
You pronounce the R.
You pronounce the R. All right. Well,
because I'm right.
All right. Let's. So this week we got a couple of fun topics to talk about. Interesting stuff. We're gonna wing it and see how it goes. We're gonna do something a little bit different from normal. We're not gonna do game club like we said we were going to because we kind of realized we kind of had a busy week. Both got stuff going on with work and school, and
I had about 3 million tests this week at school. So there's that.
Yeah, getting footage and things was a little tougher, but we actually have something. We're going to try something new because young podcast got to be all about ingenuity and trying new things.
We gotta be able to pivot.
Yeah,
it's the name in the industry.
In the industry, we call it pivoting because you rotate as things become practical. All right. So, let's start with, I don't know how to type up this as a topic. Let me see. I'll do exceptions. Okay. So one of the interesting things that we have going on that has been happening this week is that we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because it's kind of obscure and it's kind of strange, but I think it's an interesting concept. So there is the DMCA stands for, I have to look it up in 1 second, but basically like it's the legislation that was passed in 1996, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, that the government passed when they realized, hey, internet and computer stuff is pretty important. We should probably do laws about that stuff.
Do laws.
So this has been established for a while, and there have been a couple exceptions over the years. And one of the things that's recently come up is that there's a Museum of Art and Digital Entertainment, MADE, is pushing for a little bit of a change in the exceptions for games that are under the protections, namely games that are obsolete and online games that are obsolete and no longer being played and supported. They want to give exceptions to that so that they are no longer they're not as protected under copyright, and they can be used in their museum to be like played and experienced. Now obviously Ubisoft and EA and big companies that have older games that were online are like, no, you can't just have our games because you sell tickets to your museum. It's $10 to go into your museum and play games all day. So you're making money off of our games, which we're not cool with. So No, and like there's a little bit of a legislative battle that's being put back.
So I'll tell you this. What about? So we're trying to compare video games to other kinds of art, right?
Uh-huh.
What about if you go to like a nightclub and you pay an entrance fee and they're playing music? The artists don't care.
That's a good question.
What I mean?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought of that. Like, because let's say that an artist, let's say that Deadmau5 walks into a club, right? I don't know. Not many clubs are playing Deadmau5 right now. I think that's kind of like a...
Listen, Deadmau5 is hot right now.
Yeah, Deadmau5 is hot right now. So, anyway, so let's say Deadmau5 walks into a club and they're playing his music, right?
I feel like, oh shit, this is my jam.
You're right.
I feel like I need a discount right fucking now. Play my music.
That's also kind of who he is. Like, I don't think that... I mean, like, he's kind of an asshole, but, like, I don't think...
Yeah, but, like, think of, like, Drake. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, someone who might do that is, like, Taylor Swift. Because, you know...
Well, so that's
she's
like...
a bitch.
It's an... That's an interesting question, is, like, where does that line get drawn? And, like, in terms... Because here's the thing, is that, like, people don't go to clubs because, like, oh, I'll bet the DJ is going to play some Deadmau5, unless it's, like... Oh, our club is featuring Deadmau5 this weekend. Then probably he gets a chunk of like the, you know, the cover
because he's performing.
Because he's performing, yeah. But like, it's not. I don't think it's like DJ. Like you go to like any random bar and you're like, I really hope when I go in here they have a DJ that's playing Deadmau5, you know, because otherwise I'm out. And like, you don't do that. So I think that's different. I think it's, I don't know, but it is an interesting thought because it's like you're not being...
I just thought about that right now. But we did discuss beforehand when it comes to like art pieces, like literally like paintings and stuff like that. I was saying that I'm just kind of playing both sides. I'm playing devil's advocate. Because I think what the companies are doing is right. But because
like
that's
EA
what
and Ubisoft?
Yeah. I don't think it's anything wrong because it's their intellectual properties, their IP. They can say, no, you can't make money off of it. It's commercial use. It's our property. Only we can make money. Oh, give us a chunk of cash. We'll let you play it.
Yeah.
But we were saying when it comes to art, like art paintings, the only way you can go and see an art painting is if A, the gallery there paid the owner or the artist to show it. They're paying them a chunk of the entrance fee. Or the gallery just owns the painting. That's the only way you can see paintings.
Yeah. I think it would be a different... I think it would be a different story if the museum didn't charge. Which, like... Because, like... I would be wholeheartedly on the side of the museum if they didn't charge for entrance and explicitly... That included explicitly, you get to play these games, you know, like when you pay to come in. I think that would be... I feel like they should... I don't know. I've never been to this museum. I don't even know if it's like a real location or if it's just kind of like a concept. But like, that's where I was telling him before the podcast when we were talking about this. That's where if EA and Ubisoft and all the big companies that are like fighting against this have a leg to stand on, that's where it would be. It would be that you're making money. You're charging people to have access to this. Yeah, we don't really run the servers anymore. We don't push updates for this games, but it's still something that we made, and now you're making money off of it. Which, yeah,
and that's the case with every other industry.
Yeah.
Maybe when it comes to the music, maybe the artists are making money because they're playing like on Spotify or something like that, and they do get a chunk of that. But if you do, I don't know, if you make screws, and you develop and you have a patent on a screw, you can't be a museum on screws and be like, pay us $20 and we have this special screw that I don't fucking know this company owns to see it. Okay,
I like
the other company is like, no, it's our fucking screw. Okay, that doesn't really make sense. No, it's probably for someone else put the screw in their plane without paying them. You know what I mean?
I think I get what you're saying. No, well, here's what I will say. I mean, like, what I will say is that, I mean, America's copyright laws are kind of shitty as it is because of Disney. Nothing's entered public domain since pretty much the birth of Mickey. Nothing has entered public domain, which is pretty sad. And like, yeah, games are pretty recent. So like, even under like older copyright law, they probably still wouldn't enter public domain for a while. But I'll tell you right now, like, here's something that I've been thinking. I don't know if this has to do with copyright law in America, but like, I used to play old shareware games. Did you ever have like those old shitty discs that you'd like pop into like computers and like they would be like really dumb games, like really simple.
But did they come in like cereal boxes or something?
Kind of like those ones, yeah. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
I
you ever
don't
play?
really. Like demos?
It kind of like some of them were demos. Some of them were like full on games. Most of them were demos. But like, I used to have these shareware discs, and like some of those games I played, like they were really like they were old because they were like from the 90s, but like like even older than that, probably like the 80s and stuff. But
Video games from the 1930s.
yes, video games from the 30s. It was really, but what a video game from the 30s look like? We put two wires together and see who can zap them faster. But what I'm saying is, there were some of those shareware games that I'm like, I used to like those games, and like I wanted to go look for them. Like there was one like I think it was like Halloween Harry, but like you still have to buy them, and like I guarantee no one's buying that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't imagine anyone is like, I will happily pay $10 for a game from the 80s, you know? So
hey, listen, it's not about what we think. Does the company own the IP? Then they have all the right they can to do that.
I can't type in chat. But I mean, like, here's what I'm saying, right? They have every right to do that, but kind of only under copyright law. Like, what I will say is,
and it doesn't matter. We're not going to get into whether or not we agree with copyright law. It's the law. So whether they own it, they can do whatever the hell they want.
Well, see, that's the problem. Is it's not like laws are infallible. There are plenty of shitty laws. You know. Here's what I will say: is that look at the things that people have done with things that have entered the public domain. Right? Like people can get really creative with a lot of stuff that's in the public domain because they don't have to worry about having to pay somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like if you were to take those games and like put them in the public domain, they could do a lot because especially like, this is kind of an abstract thought, but like how many young kids nowadays are like taking early level programming stuff? Like they're throwing shit together in Scratch. Cause like, imagine exposing them to like some shitty game from the 80s where like that was cutting edge programming. And nowadays that's like basic as hell. And like, you could do that with the most basic of programming. That could inspire young people to be involved in that. Or people can like take, I mean, not like any assets from those games are really worth it, but you know, there's plenty of mod communities that could do things with old games. And I just think that it would be obsolete games.
Listen, I'm all about Pong mods. Okay? Make the ball blue instead of white. Fuck, dude, that's my shit.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like too much is protected under copyright in America that really doesn't need to be. I don't get
what you're saying.
It has its
that
place.
It's shitty. The only company that does that is Disney.
Well,
because they could just throw fucking trillions of dollars at the federal government to that. And to be fair, every company that is used in every IP that is used as often and as frequently and is so widely known as Disney is protected the same way that Disney is. Because it's still widely used. Copyright is meant to be used. Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, I got a notification saying we lost internet.
Oh, yeah, no, I got that too. It's just on Twitch, I think.
It's on Twitch? Okay.
Yeah, it's not actually us.
Any company that they're 70 years or up, or 50 years, whatever it might be for each, it's different for each kind of a property. If they're still widely used, widely known, they can get a renewal. That's the thing. That's the same thing in international law too. Trust me, I've studied this. Like I'm not pulling the shit out of my ass.
I'm not thinking that you're bullshitting me, and I don't have a problem with copyright. I definitely think that copyright's an important thing. I'm just saying, like, I feel like, okay, when you say Disney, Disney is like, okay, I get it when like in the last whatever how many 20 30 years whatever, like your stuff is still your stuff. I respect that. You still should be able to make money off of something that you worked hard to produce. No one is making money off of fucking Halloween Harry from like 91. Okay, like 32. Yeah, exactly. No one's making money off of that. I would love to be able to play that game. I'm sure a lot of people would love to. So it's like, I don't know. I just think that.
I mean, you're the only one here.
Exactly. Like, well, okay. my point being is, like, I guarantee you, if it were in public domain, imagine right now, think about, like, to your days of playing, like, Miniclip and, like, addicting games, right? Like, all those shitty Flash games that were just put out for free.
But I think we're getting off the point. That's not the point of the article that we read. The point of the article is that this museum wants to make money off other people's intellectual property.
Okay. I think, like, yeah,
you know but,
like,
mean?
You're skewing what they
It's not you wanting
is.
to play Halloween Harry or whatever the fuck. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with the museum making money off of it.
I think that what the museum wants to do is there's like which is Star Wars Galaxies is like the one that's listed in the article. It's like basically what they're pointing out is like they want to be able to run small servers of like online games that aren't being supported anymore, or they want to be able to have access to these games. And I'm like, I bet you. I mean, I don't know what Star Wars Galaxies is, but like if you told me that I could have more access to it like easily, like if this museum was just hosting it, I'd check it out. I mean, like, tell me you wouldn't check that out. Be like, because okay, whatever, fine, Sal, just be that way. I'm just saying, like, I think that, I mean, hell, I have a fucking podcast about video games, right? For the most part, this is about video games. I think that video games are the a massive expression of art for people of our age and of all ages. It really, I don't think there's any age demographic or sex demographic or really any demographic for people who could be playing games or should be. Play games if you like them. There are a lot of people who enjoy playing games. I think the concept of demographics in games is kind of bullshit. Yeah, it helps to know, like, okay, I'm going to advertise to this group.
If you look in chat, we got a good segue to our next topic.
What? Oh. That topic comes in later, but we don't
have to go in order.
I really okay. Do you want to just jump down to that one? I mean, like,
I think we should. I think we beat DMCA down.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like we've got it. We like you get it. I think that's neat.
We said our opinions. So you want to lead this one, Jonathan? I don't really know exactly. But as of recent events. Tragic events, I might add. There's some legislation that are some legislators.
Okay, so let me first preface this by saying that I have very strong. We all have political opinions, and Sal and I have plenty of discussions politically. Some things we agree on, some things we vehemently disagree very strongly. I know that was redundant, but we disagree a lot. Before we get into this. We're not going to focus on the politics. We're just going to talk about it in the sense of actual what it means for the gaming industry and also just kind of how dumb it is. So, Rhode Island state representative, his name, whatever, you can Google it, look up the state representative from Rhode Island who's pushing this bill, is talking about passing a bill that would put a 10% sales tax on violent video games to fund school counseling to help prevent school shootings. Which, if you are watching a recording of this podcast at a later date, very recently there was a school shooting in Florida that took the life of 17 students. It was very tragic. And of course, gun law and gun legislation and gun violence is a huge discussion topic right now. And one of the big attitudes that comes up all the time, which I don't care who you are, it's a stupid point to make. Violent video games causing gun violence. I
thought that argument disappeared in like 2005.
I thought so too, but apparently like it's come back to life. It's the dumbest, like I don't need to like share where my points of view are on guns, whether I'm for or against. My friends know where I'm at. I'm very strongly on my position. This is a stupid argument. It's a very stupid argument.
It's yeah, like I'm not playing Stardew Valley and then starting a farm. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not playing Subnautica and then going scuba diving in the ocean.
I'd be like, oh man, look at how many blueberries! Like, I'm gonna plant some fucking blueberries, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Do you see how much money I'm making off blueberries?
Do you see how many ancient fruit wine I'm making, dude? It's not like I'm playing GTA. This is literally the argument against this, and it's been around for a while. And I'm not playing GTA, going to the corner, fucking a hooker, then killing her and putting her in my trunk. Some people do that. but it's probably not because they play video games.
Yeah, that's probably because there's a lot of underlying other issues. Now,
Yeah.
here's something I want to say. I was actually thinking about this week because
I will say, go ahead.
I was going to just say, I was thinking about this week because someone posted something on Reddit or something that was talking about someone's experience in school. And I feel like we, no matter, like, not even looking at it in terms of a gun violence sense, we are tragically under supporting our young students. I feel like you could go in a room and say, raise your hand if at some time you have felt worthless or that you wanted to die or you hate yourself or something like that to high school students. You know, some kind of, like, if you ever thought you have anxiety or depression or like some kind of severe mental stress. I am willing to wager that a significant number of high school students would admit to something like that. And I mean, think about the weirdest kid from your high school, right?
Just ignore chat.
What?
Just ignore chat real quick.
All
right.
Think of, but you get what I'm saying, Sal? Like,
yeah, but
I feel like the
that's
cause
getting
is
into
good. I feel like the cause is good to support school counseling and
yes, to support that. Okay,
but no,
I
how
will
they're doing
say
it is
the reason that they're doing it is a diversion. It's a diversion.
It's a diversion
because of the political interest of that specific senator or whatever the fuck.
But no matter
he's a Republican. I'm not saying whether I agree with it or not because I don't want to get into that.
It is
a diversion because of what he believes in. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. He's trying to point. It's a red herring. It's what it is.
You know what's actually okay. So like you said, ignore chat, but like that actually is kind of an interesting point of view. Like, think about Modern Warfare 2, the most controversial.
That mission was on the news. Like, when that game came out. You killed like hundreds of people in that mission.
Yeah, that for those of you who haven't played Modern Warfare 2, there's a mission in the very early on in the game that straight up tells you can choose to skip this part of the mission and it won't affect your gameplay at all, but because it is very graphic and it is very disturbing, and you are literally playing as a plant in a Russian, what is it?
You're playing as a spy in a Russian terrorist group. And they make you shoot up an airport.
You literally, your mission is you have fully automatic weapons and you enter an airport that is loaded with people and you're unarmed civilians and your goal is to shoot as many of them.
There were some cops, but they have, like, literally in the game, as in real life, they have a pistol compared to you having a fucking light machine gun with 200 rounds loaded. It's a pretty intense mission. It really is. Even then, when I played, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it actually bothered me too. I was like,
"Want to do this?"
I was
Can I just walk around?
Yeah, I'm sure. I know a lot of people who at least people who are relatively well adjusted or kind of like were responding to it as a game. You know what I mean? Like we're like experiencing it as much as they can immerse themselves. They kind of. I'll tell you right now, when I got to that part, I was like, I'm supposed to shoot these people. And, like, I didn't. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to, but I could feel like the game wants me to because you're supposed to be a spy.
We're normal people. The point against that they're trying to make, the people that have this argument against video games, is that normal people are fine. The people that are disturbed in the head, that might see this, can have some inclinations, but I don't think that has that big of an effect.
I really,
If you, I mean, I don't know.
I mean I'm no psychologist, but I think that most people can comfortably. Well, here's the problem, is that like it's a diversion tactic, like you said earlier, and really, what are you doing? Like taxing video games? What? Why? Is this? Are you trying to discourage the games? Or just
the thought works because we do it for alcohol, we do it for tobacco, we do it for firearms, even. You know, we do it. You tax tobacco and to fund cancer research.
Yeah,
you tax alcohol to fund rehab centers and homeless centers and stuff like that. There is some taxes on guns in certain states like California, where you goes to gun violence and gun stuff like that. I'm not gun control stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thought is good. It's just I don't think there's a correlation there.
I mean, yeah, it's just what you said earlier. I think kind of is like the final summation of the whole point. I feel like we dissuaded this argument in 2005. Why has it come back?
Yeah, why is it back?
This
And I
is-
know why.
Yeah.
It's diversion. Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's pointing out you misspoke there. You're saying that taxes on gun funds gun violence. So that's not what you meant to say. Funds anti-gun violence, like, support things, like things.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You don't mean like, hey, I pay taxes so I can go fund school shooters. No, that's not what you do. But like, really, this whole thing drives me crazy because it's this stupid clinging to this, like, I want to blame something. No matter your stance, blaming stuff never solves the problem. Doesn't matter what you're like. Okay. Blame is functional for all of, like, one step, and that is to go, this is that fault, and that's all you should do. Then you go and fix it from there, because it's not about. It's just, this is just the dumbest topic that people are still talking
Captain
about.
Kyra in chat. Honestly, I'd have less of an inclining to gun violence if Logan Paul was dead. Same.
Well,
Piece of shit.
you can, as long as the NRA is around, you're welcome to get yourself a gun and act how you want to. No condoning of gun violence, but you live in America, friend.
Okay, we're not condoning killing Logan Paul.
Don't kill Logan Paul.
We do not condone a dead Logan Paul. We don't like him, but we don't want him dead.
Yes, anyone who's listening to this podcast or watching, we do not condone any kind of gun violence.
Yeah, please.
Any kind of violence, period. That is not the
Please
solution.
don't kill anyone. Please don't shoot anyone. That's our whole point here.
Unless it's in a game. You are welcome to shoot whoever you want in a game. Especially if they're on your own team, because that shit's hilarious.
Yeah. You hear that, chat? It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Like when I run you over by accident on PUBG, it's funny. You shouldn't get mad and rage quit.
No, you suck at driving in PUBG.
I did it twice, and people don't let me drive anymore. It's bullshit.
Maybe because the first time, fool me, run over me once.
I did it on purpose.
On you. Run on me twice, no more driving for you. Anything else you want to say about this? I mean, like, long story short, this is the stupidest fucking argument.
It is.
It's just stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
chat is just going on.
Yeah, so if you're watching later on YouTube, you guys need to check out live so that you can be involved.
You can join chat
shenanigans.
We should think of a way to stop spamming on the chat, please. Think of a way to record chat and put it up in the video. That might be an interesting idea.
I think it would be. I think it certainly would be a good idea. Yeah, don't worry. I timed him out. He'll be back, but get your time out.
10 minutes. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not for our podcast. That's not a huge percentage.
Yeah.
Of it. We talk for a while. Which point do you want to go? I mean, like, because we're done with this. You want to move on to?
Yeah.
I don't know which point do you want to go to? Number 4, right before. I mean, we don't have to spend very much time on that. It's just kind of.
No. It's just a fun topic. Hey, let's go on another. On a lighter note.
On a lighter note.
That's how you say it, right?
Yes. On a lighter note, McDonald's on the 26th of this month will be every U.S. location will be stocked with Szechuan sauce. So no more jumping up on counters and reeing for all of you neckbeards. You will be able to get your Szechuan sauce. That, like I said, that is all U.S. locations. The McDonald's Twitter just put out, they shipped out like 20 million units. So no more like only 10 per like 5 stores that have it. I know that I probably myself will go at least sometime soon after that and actually check out what the Szechuan sauce is. For me, what makes this the funniest thing is that like people traded like fucking cars for this.
Yeah. That's the funniest shit. So there was people that spent thousands of dollars on this, and they're like, dude, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna sell in 10 years. I'm gonna make mad profit. And right now they're like, holy shit, I gotta sell this right fucking now.
No, it doesn't matter because no one's gonna buy it. And once
or just hold it long hold right now, guys.
So we're talking
40 years.
Roth IRA, your Szechuan sauce.
Retirement plan right there.
Retirement plan, your Szechuan sauce, dude. No, but yeah, I mean, for like
They're like panic selling
what
Szechuan.
panic sell your Szechuan sauce. I mean, like, didn't someone send? Speaking of
the
Dead Mouse
autism.
again, didn't someone send Dead Mouse like a giant bottle of the Szechuan sauce? Right?
There was 5 giant bottles, and Dan Harmon and what's his other name?
Justin Roiland.
Justin Rowland got one.
Those are you outside of the inside joke. Rick and Morty, very popular animated show last season, did a bit about how Szechuan sauce was like the greatest thing ever, and Rick could only have it in his memories, and he was like losing his shit about how he couldn't have it. And then people were like tweeting at McDonald's to bring back the Szechuan sauce, and they did. And then it was only like a couple of sauce packets per like a couple of stores, and people were lined up out the door for it, and they lost their shit. So yeah, way overhyped for a meme. I actually am curious what like tastes like. I feel like it's gonna be like Polynesian sauce from like Chick-fil-A.
Probably. I've never had that. Oh, you got the douchebag jug in your hand?
Yeah, I was like.
What you got? You got football practice later, bro?
I'm third string JV. Coach wants me real hydrated, so I'm ready out there. You know, gotta get out there, gotta slam the targets. You know. But the reason I have this was because like I was super thirsty and I didn't want to go home.
Oh, were you?
Oh yeah, but like I was like thirsty and I didn't want to go home, so I just went into a store and like, here's some dumb shit. I went into the store and like I looked at the fridges like they have by the aisles and like they had Dasani bottles and I was like, oh, I'll get one of those. And I looked and they're like $2 and I'm like, I feel like the water shouldn't cost that much. So I went to the aisle with like all of the waters and this was 89 cents.
Do you know that water is a scam? Like Dasani and stuff like that? Because they filter it, right? So it's filtered water, right? It says purified water on it. And actually, purified water is not as good for you as like alkaline water or with like a bunch of minerals. Mm-hmm. Because your body doesn't process it as well. So water, there's a conspiracy on water. Coca-Cola and Nestle. I'm dead serious. And so people think purified is better, right? So they price at a higher price point, even though it's just fucking water, right? Mm-hmm. And they can just sell it. I learned this on a podcast, so it must be true. It was on the internet.
Well, if you haven't heard it before this podcast, now you've heard it on another podcast.
Yeah. I'm just spreading the truth, you know? Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah, so, yeah, apparently we just learned that we have a conspiracy on water. And that I have actually, because it does it say purified on here? Nothing added, naturally pure. It's mountain spring water. Does that mean that it's not purified?
Does it have any, like, the parts per million on there? Or, like, the, what's it called?
It literally just says, contains spring water.
They should have a parts per million there, or like a dissolved parts per million or something like that. The higher, the better. So like seltzer water that you get, not seltzer water, like sparkling spring water that just comes sparkling out of the ground. Dude, water talk. People are gonna love this.
Yeah. I mean, well, it says I can call a phone number to find out more about the contents of this water. So
that means it's purified and it's a piece of shit.
Okay.
That made it, yeah.
I mean, you say that like your body can't process it?
It can, just not as well as other waters.
Water. Your body just absorbs it through osmosis.
You know, if you drink distilled water, that's terrible for you, right? It's the same thing. You want more minerals in the water.
Like, yeah, you want minerals, but your body can still use water. Your body...
Do you remember what they told us in high school chemistry? Don't drink distilled water, you'll get fucking sick.
I mean, like... I feel like lots of people drink distilled water all the time and they're fine.
Not distilled water, purified water. Distilled water is just H2O straight.
I mean...
See? I'm right. Shaq's on my side.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. Ready? Here, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. Every person who's ever died drank water.
That's a dad joke if I've ever heard one.
What? It's true. I mean,
right.
Okay, wait.
I mean, you're right.
I just realized, well, wait, actually, no, I might be wrong because, like, premature
some people
babies,
might have never drank water.
Yeah, some babies might have been bored and then just died.
That's wow. We got dark real quick.
What? This is true.
Okay. Babies in a blender next.
On a going in the dark direction. On a darker note, net neutrality.
Then fucking dead babies.
Yes.
Oh my god.
This is more down than here we go.
Someone made an account. Water is a scam.
I love it. I love the commitment. That's wonderful. Okay. Just to say it's a scam. That's wonderful. It's probably Nady Peak because I timed him. All right. So net neutrality. Net neutrality.
Listen, they're putting fluoride in the water. They're making the frogs gay. That was my
Alex Jones.
My Alex Jones impression.
Make the freaking frogs gay.
Listen, you don't get as red as thick as me if you don't drink bone broth.
I'm a man. I like
Bone
meat.
broth. People used to die at 40, like back in the fucking 1700s. Listen, that's a pretty good Alex Jones, and if you don't think so, you can go suck an ass.
All right, you can do that. Alex Jones aside, net neutrality. Just following up.
Yeah, Shaquille Hamidi. LaCroix tastes like someone shouted the name of a fruit in the next room. I just take a sip of water.
Tangerine. Net neutrality.
Oh, by the way, guys.
Sal, I'm trying to talk about net neutrality.
Podcast pup.
Oh, you have podcast pup again?
Podcast pup.
I really need to get my podcast pups in here at some point. I'll do it like next episode.
Podcast pup. He can chill here for a while.
Net
Net neutrality.
Net neutrality. Following up for those Americans who are suffering from worries about your net neutrality. It officially ends on the 23rd. So...
Well, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, so the all protections of net neutrality end on the 23rd. So say goodbye to everything, unless you're in California, where you straight up have like a lot of states have actually you like live snapping right now or our podcast. Wonderful.
Take a picture.
Oh,
This is for my Tinder.
oh my god, really? Well, take advantage of your high internet speeds right now because you may not be able to Tinder.
I won't be able to Tinder. Or
sorry, I should say not the 23rd of this month. So like not tomorrow. It's April 23rd. Sorry. I probably should make that clear. Yeah. California said that they're gonna be like, no, we're gonna go ahead and keep net neutrality. State legislatures actually said that like, I think that the specific wording is that like if you want to deal with the state, like if you want to be you want to have a contract with the state, then you need to be abiding net neutrality like standards. So I mean like that's kind of a big deal. But
yeah.
Anything you want to say about net neutrality?
Yeah, it fucking sucks that we're losing it.
Yeah.
I think politics aside, I don't think Trump's going to get reelected. And whoever gets elected, whether a Republican or a Democrat, I think they will reinstate net neutrality. Yeah.
Well, I mean...
No, my dog did not throw up on me. He just coughed.
I mean, okay, so like that here, like getting into how politics... politics
I don't
work.
give a shit.
Can an executive... Because like, now they've had a committee work on legislation. Can an executive order just say...
Net neutrality was an executive order.
I know, but like, it was an executive order, but then there was a law
Yes, because
after
it's still... No, it's not a law. Net neutrality is not a law. The repealment is not a law. That's still executive power because it's done by a department of the executive branch.
Okay. So it would
it can be done by the legislative, the judicial, or the executive.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. So yeah.
Actually, I think the judicial can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the judicial can. I think it's between the executive and legislative. Like it's not unless it becomes a law and then the judicial.
Unless it becomes a written law.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. We didn't tweet about stream tonight. That sucks.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go.
I really want to find out who.
Here,
the fuck is happening? Who's making random fucking? Who's making random?
It might be people that you know, or it could just be
could
our
be.
friends. I don't know. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna put on Snapchat that we're streaming right now.
Honestly, I took a pretty good picture of me and Willie.
That'd be pretty good, dude.
He looks so scared in this picture.
Your dog always looks scared, dude.
Yeah, I think that's Narg.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Salamander is it's Narg Thomas.
Ooh, he doesn't know how to spell your last name apparently.
Let's not dox me, okay?
Yeah, dude. How do I add to my? Again, following up from last week, how do I add to my story? I had to like look for a second.
Oh, such a... So you have to take a picture, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you just click. It's not that hard, actually. You go.
I know,
right
I
here.
figured it out, but like it was
it's just
weird.
bottom right, bottom left, actually. That button.
Oh, that's
Let's
not how I
start.
did it. Mine pulls up like my friends list, and like the top left has like a button.
No. So you go in the picture, and you can go post straight to the thing from here. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I mean, do you have anything else to say about net neutrality? I just thought, like,
No.
I guess I was just kind of sharing news for you guys. Net neutrality, exclusive release. We'll go to our last topic that we have written down at least before, because like last week and kind of this week we've gotten into new topics. You're welcome to look around, Sal, for new topics like you did last week, and if you just want to find.
All right, let's go to.
Because I know that this one isn't something that you have as much.
FoxNews.com.
Fox News, AlexJones.com.
It's called Infowars.com.
Yeah, you're right.
Can you buy advertising space? If you just want to put a picture of yourself on there, you can pay us $100 and we'll put a picture on there.
As long as it is stream appropriate. It must be stream
Yes,
appropriate.
it can't be your dick and balls, Jack.
Yes. So the note that I made here, Warcraft 3 tournament. So like a couple of weeks ago, there was like a URL that was made open to the public that wasn't supposed to be right away. Long story short, Warcraft 3 recently announced, yes, Warcraft 3 from like...
25 years ago?
When was Warcraft 3 released?
Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos's initial release date is July 3rd, 2002.
Okay, so from 2002, right? A game from 2002 got
I have a
an
rash.
update, or is getting an update at the end of this month, I believe. There's a Warcraft 3 tournament, and they invited like classic Warcraft 3 pros. I would have to like look at the list. I didn't really watch a lot of Warcraft 3 professional play, but like there's a real professionally Blizzard sponsored tournament for a Warcraft 3 tournament, and like I was like, oh, cool. And what I first thought, and I know other people are talking about right away, was like Warcraft 3 HD remastered. Huh? I would buy the hell out of that game, because actually, I mean, that's just because you suck at RTSs, Sal. I mean, like...
Really? You think I suck at RTSs?
Yeah, you're gonna be like Age of Empires.
You know what my childhood was? It was Age of Mythology, Age of Iron
Age of Iron
It was Age of Iron Hill, and the World War II one.
Well,
that one.
You suck at StarCraft. I know that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, suck an ass. Who cares?
So, Warcraft 3, which was a great RTS, okay, even though you may not like it. Great RTS.
I like the story.
Oh, I mean, this actually, like, I love the story of Warcraft 3. Also, characters in Warcraft 3 that are in World of Warcraft are a lot better in Warcraft 3. Like, Tyrande, a million times better in Warcraft 3 than she is in World of Warcraft. Especially in this last expansion. This last expansion is actually a little bit better. But before that, she's kind of just love interest for Malfurion, which is kind of lame. Which is really, really dumb, because...
We got a viewing party, by the way.
Do we really?
Yeah. That's,
Awesome.
That's us.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you, all of our viewers, for supporting us. It really does help a lot more than you guys probably know. Anyway, yeah, Warcraft 3 tournament. I am hoping to God for Warcraft 3 Remastered or Warcraft 3 HD. I would be so stoked, because they're not going to do Warcraft 4. They're not. I really, really doubt that. Yeah, we're at 15 viewers, which I think, based on I was just checking our channel statistics, I think 15 viewers is the most viewers we've ever had, which is a huge deal. So
16.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at us. We're doing so good.
Oh my God. We
oh my
are
God.
number...
Did you find anything else, Sal, for us to talk about? Or do you, I mean, like, because I think that our next section is actually
Hunt Showdown is on Steam Early Access.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Hunt Showdown is now on the early access. Which how do you describe that game? I mean, it's like
I don't know. It's just like
DayZ
PUBG,
meets or like
PUBG meets DayZ, but with like monsters.
I would say PUBG meets The Witcher. Maybe like
yeah. But with guns, yeah.
But with guns. So I think that's kind of.
What's EA? Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? And I was telling you this. How much of a piece of shit Xbox is.
Okay, we can talk about
I've
that.
been trying to play motherfucking Fortnite on the Xbox for the podcast, so I can get a difference between the PC version and the Xbox version. Because I played the PC version. It's not my favorite. I like PUBG better. But I was also going to play PUBG on Xbox because I have a lot of friends that play on Xbox. It's taken me a fucking week, not exaggerating, to play Fortnite on the Xbox. I still can't fucking get it to work. And I'm not retarded. I know I'm not. Because I'm pretty good with computers. The PlayStation works fine. I bet you if I fucking download on my PlayStation right fucking here, tonight, I will play it tonight. I guarantee you.
Well, what's been your problem exactly?
It says your account. So I bought Xbox Live twice. For my brother and for me to see if it would work on either account. It doesn't.
You bought Xbox Live twice.
Yes.
You bought it twice.
Yes.
That's your fault. You're giving money.
I've returned one of them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wait, so have you figured it out now? Or are you still...
No, I still can. I sent them an email. I sent Epic Games an email. I was like, what the fuck do I do? It says I need another account, but I can't make another account because my Epic account is now linked to my Xbox Live account. Well, so I can't...
Chat's complaining about the fact that I'm drinking out of
Yes, you can return Xbox Live if you send them an email.
I mean, like, I would imagine in situations like that.
Because I told them their platform's a piece of shit.
All right, Chat is upset that I'm drinking out of.
Are you peeing right now? Are you peeing in your? Hey, for audio listeners, Jonathan is peeing into a cider flask right now.
Okay, great. Very relaxing pee there for audio listeners.
Yes.
Which actually,
so
I actually kind of want to ask really quick if we were to host
this
naked. Audio only, like we would still live stream it. We still put.
So if we were to go on My Free Cams and do the show on My Free Cams but naked, would you guys watch? That's the real question.
That's the real question. No, I was gonna say if we put ourselves on like Castbox or something, so like we had like just the audio version of this.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't hurt. You can just get the audio, put it on podcast for iOS. What is it? I don't know what the podcast is for.
Everyone's
people. It is overwhelming.
The My Free Cams support.
It is.
Hey, if you're watching a later date, be sure to tweet us, get it involved, let us know what you think about the My Free Cams idea. Hashtag Sal's booty. What would our hashtag be if we were gonna be a My Free Cams channel?
We already have one. Hashtag Sal's Weekly Cook, so we can do a spin off of that. Sal's Weekly Cock.
I hate you. All right. Why don't we move on to our next section?
Let's keep it a little bit more family friendly.
As good a time as any to move into our new section. So we were talking about earlier. If you were just recently joining us, we've talked about in previous last week we talked about we were going to do Game Club this week. But Sal had a lot of tests this week. We're both students, both very busy. I had a lot of stuff come up. Really, I was just grinding rep in World of Warcraft, so it's really my excuse. But we didn't.
You know, you don't have to whisper because they can see. You know.
Well, anyway, it was we decided not to do Game Club this week because I didn't get a chance to play The Witcher, and that's what Sal wanted to do. And actually, what I did instead was I played other stuff. And I had the thought that like there was something I wanted to talk about, and I'm like, why do we have to talk about the same game when we're trying new sections? So the new section that we're doing, we're calling it tentatively Trade Chat, where Sal and I both played different games over this last week.
We talk about trade.
Yeah,
The stock market.
yeah, we're trading our experiences with.
Hey, what's up,
games.
Narg?
Um. Anyway, we are this last week. Actually, I don't know if you guys, for those of you who have been around since the beginning, remember us. I guess it was episode 2 we did Celeste, right? Or was it episode 1? It was episode 2 because that was when we started Game Club. Right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So episode 2 of exclusive release, we played Celeste, and I actually this last week was like, I got pretty far, and I probably was like maybe another hour or 2 away from finishing the game, and I was like, I might as well go back and finish it because I really enjoyed the gameplay. I loved it, and I thought that it was a really amazing story. Really great characters and gameplay and well designed game. So I finished that. I actually beat Celeste, and I wanted to talk about not like really the gameplay, just kind of a thought that I had about it. And I was talking to Sal about like, hey, what if we just kind of talked about our experiences this week? So if you guys like this section, I know we say it every week, but I can't tell you enough that like feedback is really important, because like we could come out, me and Sal are going to keep coming out here and doing this every Thursday because I actually enjoy doing it, and I'm pretty sure he does too. But like, it certainly would help if we made content that you guys actually like. I mean, I don't know what you guys like. I know I like talking about video games. So
No, you like talking.
yeah, I just like talking. That's really the truth. So we're right now, what we're just gonna do is we're just gonna talk about oh my gosh, as my college roommate just tuned into, so welcome to chat.
Is that fucking?
Yep, that's him.
Is that Harold?
Yeah, it is.
Holy shit! What's up, Harold?
Look at that. We've got all kinds of viewers in right now. So
Holy shit.
trade chat. We're gonna talk about Sal. What have you been playing this last week?
Witcher. A lot of Witcher. I beat Blood and Wine for the second time, and I've been trying to do all the side missions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taking me about 3 years to finish. I kind of sped through the main
Campaign.
quest line because of the Blood and Wine, because you have to do a lot of the missions to unlock a lot of the side quests.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm doing it a little bit different. I'm trying the other options because in The Witcher, every decision that you make makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do different things that I did the first time. So see what the other
not every
are.
Decision. most big decisions for quests.
Like big decisions. I mean, most, you'd be surprised. Most dialogue decisions you make have an impact. Like, they really do.
Is there an impact when I like use my sign to like trick someone to let me pass? Or
no, because you can't use that on main characters.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's just.
I'm talking about dialogue with main characters.
Mm-hmm.
There, like in Blood and Wine, I won't spoil it, but there's one like stupidly thing that's so small that is so, when you do it, you think it's so insignificant, but if you don't do it, it changes the ending so drastically. Like, it completely changes. Like, it's insane. Like, and it's the dumbest thing. It's just doing something nice for someone that completely changes the ending of the game.
I always play nice because I like playing the
hero. No, the thing is, even if you play nice, you might not even think to do this. Yeah.
Is it like something you're like walking past and like you have to choose to stop and engage? Or like, is it like a forced dialogue that you have to...
I won't spoil it because you have to play Blood and Wine.
Okay.
So there's this really cool thing in Blood and Wine. I won't spoil it. You go into the book of we're talking about The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, by the way, guys. You go into a book of a fairy tale book, and all the fairy tales are in there. You interact with the fairy tales. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, you see Prince Charming, you see like the Wicked Witch of the West shit. You see the boy who cried wolf. You see the wolf from Red Riding Hood. He's super French. It's hilarious.
Okay.
It's just, and then there's one, you have to interact with just 3 fairy tales, but then if you interact with all of them, there's certain things you can do, like different activities that are just for like, oh, that was interesting. And there's one that if you don't do, and you don't have to do it for the main, it's not a quest objective to go talk to this person, And if you don't, and you don't get a thing from them, it changes it. I don't want to say it, but it changes it completely.
Here's what's interesting to me, right? Is that like I brought up that so I beat Celeste, right? I was like, Sal, when was the last time you beat a game? And he was like, I just did. And like,
because Blood and Wine is like another game. It's not like a DLC. It's basically like a whole new game.
I mean, like it's technically a DLC because it's a
It is, but it's a new map, new characters. The only character that stays the same is Geralt, the main character. There's no shared characters otherwise. They reference other characters from the main game, but it's very completely different, and it's the length of like a full length game.
Well, because here's what I was thinking about, right? Because like, so I beat Celeste, and I for the first time in a long time watched a credit scene, and like because like when you beat Celeste, it's you are when you beat Celeste, like because the whole thing, it's a mountain. You're climbing a mountain, right? At the end of it, like you're climbing back down the mountain as credits play, and you're kind of going past scenes that you saw as you went up.
Chat's making fun of me.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're making fun of you necessarily, but
anyway. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to be a dick because I know there's people in chat and Jonathan that want to play.
I do want to play Blood and Wine, and like I don't.
So I don't want to spoil Blood and Wine because it's my favorite part of The Witcher. It's my favorite like story arc.
But all that to say, I was just saying, like, I was watching a credit and I was thinking, like, because I was really satisfied that I beat in the game. I was like, this is really cool. I'm really glad that I came back and finished this because like. I haven't played a game that you can beat in a long time. I mean, like, my games that I've been playing a lot lately, or, like, naming off games that I've played in the last 2 years, right? Like, mostly it's been RuneScape, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, PUBG, what else do we play? I mean, I play Stardew Valley, but, like, technically, even that you can't really beat. It goes forever. I mean, like, you can complete all that there is really mainly to do, but you never beat it. And then... I can't think of what else have I played. I mean, like, beyond that, my whole point being, I haven't beaten a game in so long, and it was really satisfying. And not to mention, I really think that I'm probably going to at some point. I think that, Sal, you and I need to, like, make more non-stream content. Stuff that, like YouTube stuff or blog stuff, I think, like, would be really cool. I'll go back.
Do vlog?
Oh, did we just get a donation?
Ooh.
What? Uncle Jacoby just donated $100.
He's gonna recharge that, and we're gonna get fucking charged for that.
If he does, if he does return it, that's totally fine. But if not, thank you, Uncle Jacoby, for the massive donation. If that does go through and stay through, we will certainly use that to going towards the podcast, which is
buying more cookies for me and Jonathan.
I was gonna say buying games for Game Club
for our graphic designer. Designer
that was another thing. We're
to
looking...
make a better fucking overlay because it's a piece of shit right now. No offense, Jonathan.
Hey, I'm not.
It took you all of 10 minutes to make it.
Okay, it took me more than 10 minutes. All right. Yeah. Oh, Jack wants his advertisement.
Jack bought it up.
He wants his advertisement.
Wait, what?
After stream, you can supply us with whatever you would like to put on an ad.
And we'll put it on next week.
Yes, and we'll have it up for you for next week. And we'll make sure to go ahead and take care of that for you. Thank you very much for your donation and for your purchase of an advertisement. Wow, that was a surprise. So, all that to say, like, I just was like...
We gotta raise our advertisement.
Right?
You just got roasted in chat.
Yeah, dude, that's mean. So like I beat Celeste, and I'm just saying, like, that's a game that I really want to talk about and revisit. I'll probably do it on YouTube. But like, what do you guys think about, like, what do you think, Sal? Oh my gosh, more donations. What is it now? We got Deadshot Calamity
for the refund
donated
fee if he withdraws it.
Okay, Deadshot Calamity donated $10, like you said. If he I don't imagine that
we should have. Do we not have a dono notification?
What? A notification?
Why don't we have a notification for donos?
Are you not hearing that on stream? I mean, like, I don't know if you guys are hearing that.
I didn't see anything pop up on stream.
I didn't have the visual on stream. I'll put it up next. Like, I'll be sure to put it up there. But I will go ahead and say thank you to Jackalby and Deadshot Calamity for your donations. Greatly appreciated. I'm glad you guys can hear it. I know I couldn't see it. Man,
thank you.
all these donations are interrupting. Yeah, thank
all these
you.
donos.
I'm trying to talk, but like, you keep throwing money at me. I'm trying to talk. But
do we have what else? What else did you play this week? You know what I tried to play in this week? Fortnite.
Oh yeah, I downloaded that too. So
no, on the fucking Xbox.
You're still raging about that one,
game.
What else I played this week? Actually, I've been playing a lot of WoW. I don't know, Sal, have you played any WoW lately?
I haven't played this week. Oh.
I have been grinding the hell out of reps because I pre-ordered Battle for Azeroth, so that I can play a Void Elf Shadow Priest on Alliance, because that's what Void Elves are. So that's what I've been doing. I'll have to say, chat really quick, if you guys would like to hear, like, us to be more involved on YouTube, like, let us know. Like, really, feedback. I was making a point before I got more donations. What do you think, Sal, about the fact that, like, games nowadays aren't beaten in the same way that they used to be? You know what I mean? Like, you don't beat games like you used to. It used to be like, hey man, I beat Crash Bandicoot.
No, you do. It's just not the games you play.
Okay.
Most console games, you can finish the campaign. The game of the year last week was the game you could finish. Rise of Zero Dawn.
Okay,
Zelda.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
it's
but even those
play.
Also have games that continue on. But like, okay, yeah. You're right.
But there is a finish.
Okay.
The games that I play, like a lot of PlayStation games, like my favorite games are the Uncharted games. Like those have definitely an ending. Those are like 20 hours and you're done.
Okay, well, let me ask you: have you beaten those games?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's okay? So, like, I guess you're making valid points. Do you think it's fair though to say that, a lot of there's much less
that there's
emphasis
a trend
on like less completion of games than there is just playing
ongoing.
Games. Yeah, like either ongoing or like not even about completion oriented. Like, I mean, hell, there's like PUBG, World of Warcraft. Like, think about the most played games
Overwatch,
right now.
because
Overwatch.
there is a shift on PC gaming, especially towards esports. That's why.
You think that's what it is? You think it's esports that does that?
I think it might be esports. Yeah. Also, competitive games sell. That's why.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. But I mean, like, maybe it's just me, because like I've come to realize that like my taste in games is what it is, and part of that is like I actually really like indie games. I'm realizing now, because like I appreciate games that are built as a vision. You know what I mean? Like when indie game designers when they make a game, they have a vision of what they want their game to be. A game that, like, I don't know, Sal, I would recommend at some point to, maybe we can do it as a game club. Darkest Dungeon. That's a really good game, and like they are a game. They had a clear vision, and like they talked about this. I was just watching, I think it was on Reddit, that there was like a video talking about like games with orientations when they're going in. Darkest Dungeon was creating stuff and like adding in difficulties. A very hard game, permadeath. Your characters die all the time. Very hard game, and people were complaining about some of the mechanics they were adding in. And basically, at first, Darkest Dungeon said, we have a vision for this game that we are making, and like we want to provide it to the public, and we want you to like it, but we don't really want to sacrifice what our vision for this game is just to make it fit better, you know? But they did offer, eventually they created the option to turn off certain things. Like, one of the things that was complained about is like they added corpses to the game, which like you would have to play the game to understand why that's a gripe. But basically, like, it messes with positioning a lot. And I just think that, like, it's really interesting that we've got this shift in games to the point where, like, we're not trying to beat them as much anymore. We're, like, yeah, you're right. I don't play all these games that are beaten that often. But it definitely is, like, the big numbers. If you look at, like, number-wise, where are people putting their dollars? Is it in games that are beaten? You know? biggest money makers are things like Overwatch and PUBG and Hearthstone and League of Legends and all those
Again, on PC.
Okay, well, like let's look like you're.
And
Okay.
I'll tell you this: what's been the biggest seller on console since 2004? There's one game I'm thinking of:
Minecraft?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, Minecraft, but
Does that game have an ending? It does.
it
Does that game also play perpetually? It does.
Fair enough. I think
So-
part of the reason why that is because I think that consoles aren't as conducive to permanent games. You know what I mean? Like the game types that you can play over and over and over again have only recently been capable to put onto. Uncle Jacoby just donated another $20. Here's
$20 says I don't back charge the
What the fuck
dono.
did you say?
If anyone ever says anything inappropriate, don't worry, I can skip it. But thank you again, Uncle Jackleby, for another fantastic donation. This certainly, just so you guys know, if you do donate, this isn't just for our own pockets. I'm gonna put all this money towards supporting this podcast. This is for you. We're going to put it towards the podcast. So we'll, if you guys want to, if you want to donate and say, hey, I want to see you play this game, go buy 2 copies of this game.
Or you could just give it to us on Steam.
Yeah, you can also do that. If you
We should put our Steam profiles in bio.
that might be a good idea. I'll go ahead
Yep.
and take care of that a later date, or later tonight. But
Yeah.
because obviously we're midstream right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, what were we talking about right before that donation? Jack, you keep interrupting my thoughts with your donations. You just keep throwing money.
So
in.
much money, dude.
Um,
I don't.
were-
Games on console.
yeah, we were talking about games on console. So like PUBG just got put on console, right? Overwatch did too. Those are perpetual.
Overwatch has been on console for a while.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, did it get released on console?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it did. Yes, it did.
I was
Yes,
like,
it did.
I thought it did. I
Yes,
mean,
it
like, it got beta only on PC, but it got released on console. I think it might have been released on console like 2 weeks later or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. I have a question. So for PUBG, do you think it's the same? Like when they make an update for PUBG, do they make it the same on PC on an Xbox? And I'm not talking about bugs because obviously bugs are going to be different because the code is different.
Yeah.
But like, if like the buff one gun, are they also going to buff it on Xbox? Chat, does anyone know?
Probably.
Have you
I would
hired?
imagine. I actually don't know. That's a really
Like,
good
is the
question.
meta the same on PC and it is
Well,
on Xbox?
I'll tell you right
because
now.
I know
no.
for Overwatch it's the same.
I'll tell you right now why I think that there would be. I don't know if it is, but I'll tell you why I could think of a reason why the meta wouldn't be the same. Is because when you're playing on Xbox, you're looking at things with aim assist, and you're looking at things with like, you're playing a really different game actually. Because like when you're playing on PC, with first person shooters especially, the control scheme is very different. I mean, because like playing on controller is just an entirely different game. So aim assist is important, which means that guns that are easier to aim, like take for example on PC, if a gun is hard to aim, right, then it has a naturally built-in difficulty curve that it wouldn't be an issue on console. So like if something has like a lot of spread and like recoil, maybe on console that's not an issue because like the aim assist keeps it targeted better. So like something like, I don't know, like what's a gun with a lot of recoil in PUBG? Like
AK-47.
Okay.
Shit that is.
So
or the DP-28. That gun is ludicrous.
the dinner plate. Like that's, you know what I'm saying though, because like technically speaking, yeah, for the most part it's the same game, but like when you're playing it, it is different. I mean, have you seen any of those clip shows of like PUBG on like console, and it's like plays like the Benny Hill theme, and it's like and like everyone can't shoot because they all suck with controllers because
I know what
you haven't
you're
seen
talking
those. I'm gonna say this right now. I am very much a PC gamer. And I have my issues with console gaming, but like overall, it's like you're allowed to play games how you want. And I understand the practicality of systems. One of my complaints is that like, so talking about earlier, kind of continuing on what you said earlier, Sal, about your experience with console gaming, right? With like how hard it's been to play on Xbox. what pisses me off is that one of the big things for PC gaming versus console gaming has always been that for console gaming, it was supposed to be like, think back to PS2 days. You'd go to GameStop, you'd buy a disc, boop, you pop it in, you got your game. You're good to go, right? But PC, it was always like, you have to install it. Now insert disc number 2. Select your directory. And it was like a little bit tough, and like you could maybe download mods or whatever. And like PC gaming was a little bit more setup oriented, but like it's set up for different games. And there was a reason that was the case. So like if you wanted to be like games that were devoted, like way more intensive and more for like way more about like, I don't know, like you couldn't put Age of Empires or whatever on like a console. Like I'm sure they've tried, but like it doesn't work because the interfaces and all that stuff just is not conducive to the console. And that's fine. Keep it on PC. You know, Crash Bandicoot, you put that on console, that works fine. If you put it on PC, if you play with the controller, it makes sense. But like it made sense back then. Problem is now you've lost the draw that console had where you could just pop and play, right? Because now it's like pop. You have 2 years worth of patches to download. You're going to be waiting another 5 hours before you get to go. What was the fucking point? If you have to patch that much anyways, why are you playing on console? You have to patch on PC too. At least there you get better graphics and lower costs. You know? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Because a PC costs a lot more than a console.
Yeah, which is always...
That's literally your answer right there.
I mean, yeah, but like, that's, I guess, my gripe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, consoles have let down what their main demographic is supposed to be. It's supposed to be this easy, because like I know plenty of people. There's a coworker that I have who like he's like one of the only people that I work with that like I talk with video games a lot. Well, I talk with a couple people, but like whenever I see him, we're talking about like I talk about my podcast. I talk about what he's playing.
I'm gonna point out to chat that Jonathan is extremely biased when it comes to this.
I mean,
because you are.
What, like PC versus console?
Yes.
I would say yeah, I'm biased, but like I can respect someone because okay, this guy right, he's a dad. Okay, so consoles are really good for dads because you're just supposed to be able to pop it in and go, you know? But
yeah,
it you don't get to anymore. You know, you get that 2-hour break and you pop in your disc and oh, you got a patch for 2 hours. It's like, well, there goes my chance. And
it's not that bad. It's not that bad, honestly.
I mean, okay, maybe not, but like all I was saying was like,
no, because you're wrong. Because you're wrong. Because
okay.
most patches don't build on top of each other. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't like rack up.
They correct each other. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not like the patch sizes don't increase dramatically. You know what I mean? If you haven't downloaded, when they add new content, yes. But the good thing about consoles is that it's mostly online. We were talking about this last week. It's mostly online downloads.
Uh-huh.
So when you're downloading the game, you're downloading the full thing, patch and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of times, including when it's like fucking World of Warcraft, you download the game, it downloads, they're like, oh, I got a patch now. What? Why did you just do it with the download? You know what I mean?
I mean, like, technically speaking, that doesn't make a huge difference. Let's be real, because like if they had done it with a download, the download would have just been the length of the patch longer. You know, it's just now that you're irritated. So,
yeah, but why make it 2 downloads? It's the same thing. I really think it's the same.
Okay, well, like what I'm trying to say is that with consoles, there's a lot of different stuff, and like because I'm talking about PUBG, right? You've got a different game to a degree because of the fact that you're using a controller, and that changes the gameplay, which I know has bothered. I actually had a friend who played Overwatch exclusively on console, and then he tried playing it on PC, and he's like, this game sucks. He's like, I can't do this. Because he got really used to aim assist, which, like, I'm not here to judge you for using aim assist, because, like, you have to with a controller.
I don't think PUBG uses aim assist on...
Yes, it does. It 100% does.
I don't think it does. I don't think so.
Okay. Either it does, or if it doesn't, that's why everyone misses all the time in console PUBG. That would explain why.
Yeah, PUBG on console is not easy. I played it. It's fucking hard.
That's because here's what I'll say. That isn't a good kind of hard, though, right? Because the controls aren't intuitive and hitting people with it doesn't make a good kind of hard. Celeste is hard because it's about perfectly timing and controlling your controls. You never die and feel like shit, that wasn't fair. Dark Souls is hard because the enemies only need to hit you once or twice before you're dead. You know, Cuphead is hard because there's bullets fucking everywhere. That's all part of the game. Those are put there on purpose. PUBG on console being hard because it's hard to aim because controllers for first-person shooters suck. That's not a good kind of hard, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Some people are really good with joysticks.
I mean, like,
obviously you cannot be as accurate as you can be with a mouse.
I mean, like, that's just kind of like a straight up.
Yeah,
there's no aim assist on Xbox for PUBG. Okay, thank you, Captain Karu. So there is no aim assist, which explains why aiming is the crapshoot that it literal.
I don't think so. And Fortnite's the same thing. And Fortnite, like I've seen gameplay of Fortnite, on Xbox, and it looks the same as it does on PC. Honestly.
What do you mean? Like there's no aim assist?
There's no aim assist, and they're like people are not like retarded when it comes to it. Like some people are as good with a controller as we are with a mouse and keyboard. It's just what it is.
Normies get mad on console because it's so hard to kill people. I mean, like that's what I'm talking about. I feel like that's just not good design. That's always kind of bothered me about first-person shooters on console. I think it'd be great if you could plug in a mouse and keyboard for consoles.
Oh, no, you would fucking destroy everybody. That's not even fair.
I just think, it's just, that seems so... let me just say this right now. I have my opinions about console gaming. I will, no matter what, I will still say, if you have your reasons for playing on console, I'm not going to say, well, fuck you for not playing on PC. I'm not going to do that. But it definitely is like, you want to... For first-person shooters, mouse and keyboard's just better. Let's just establish that right now. Like,
no, I don't think that's necessarily better. I don't think just because you're more accurate with it means it's better.
It's just a far more intuitive control.
No, it's not intuitive at all. Get someone that's never played a video game before. Tell them to play with a mouse and keyboard. Don't tell them anything. They're going to be like, how the fuck do I move forward? Give them a controller. They're like, okay, I can figure this out. There's only so many buttons. This thing has like 1 million fucking keys on it.
I mean,
I don't think it's intuitive. I don't think PC gaming is intuitive at all. I don't think that's true at all. I will say that on Fortnite, it is a lot harder to build than it is on PC. Way harder. Because you don't have as many buttons. That is a good point. But we're talking about just the intuitiveness of the controls. Okay. Not in a specific game, on games in general. Because I think a controller is way easier to pick up. Like, this shit's way easier to pick up.
I get what you're saying now. Okay, you're right. In terms
we say it because it's easier for us, but that doesn't mean it's easier for everybody.
Okay.
My dad has no fucking idea how to play on a mouse and keyboard. He knows how to play on this.
Okay, I guess the word intuitive probably isn't what I mean. You're right. A controller is far more intuitive. You can pick up a controller and know that when you press forward on the stick, your character's probably going to go forward. Yeah. What I mean to say is that correlation, the direct correlation between keyboard and mouse and keyboard and versus controller is just far more effective, I guess you could say. It's just, I mean, like, and that's not even to say like mouse and keyboard is the superior medium of playing. I mean, hell, Sal knows all about that from trying to play Celeste, right? Like some games by design should be played with a controller.
Like Rocket League.
Rocket League is another one. Rocket League, any racing game, really. Don't try to play that shit on a keyboard. It's cancer. You'll cry. It's terrible. Yeah. You know? But the thing about being on PC is you can, I mean, I guess a lot of consoles now have steering wheel attachments too. But
or you can put a keyboard, or you can put a gamepad on a PC. You can just like this Xbox connect to my computer.
I mean, I always have where's my controller? I always have my controller. Where is it?
Yeah, but you have the fucking wireless ones, which is a pain in the ass. This one's wired. You can just connect it. And it's Microsoft, so it just plugs right in.
My brother bought a couple of wired ones, so this one's easier.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I mean, I use that just because it's easier to set up. And like when I don't want to have to every time. Like, if I wanted to play from my bed, I could, why have I not done that? I just realized I can do that. Why have I not done that?
I can't. My bed's over here, so.
No, well, I mean, you can see my bed. It's right here.
Yeah.
Directions.
Oh, you made your bed for a show. How nice.
Dude, I make my bed almost every show. But also, what's really funny, little secret, sometimes, I actually cleaned my room today, but...
Show bed! No, I'm not showing my bed.
But right now, there's a couple things off to the side. that like everything that I didn't clean up, I just put
Show
slightly off
feet?
camera.
No, that's against Twitch policy. I'm not showing my feet. You will get banned from that. That's not even a joke. You can't
No,
show
it's
feet
not.
on stream.
Yeah, it's too sexualized.
It's too sexualized.
Anything you want to say else for trade chat? I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job.
What time is it? We're 1 hour and 20. That's honestly not that bad, given that we didn't prepare very well for this podcast.
Yeah, we had a very busy week, but like I think I had some really really good discussion.
Yeah.
But if you guys, I really appreciate all of you that showed up here. We lost a lot of you so far. But I mean, we'll still have the Q&A too. We still have that too. Stick around for a second.
Yeah.
But please, everyone, feedback, what you like, what you don't like. If you donate, let us know what you want to do with it. I mean, I know that some chunk of that was for the advertisement, which we will 100% sort out if you're still in the chat, Uncle Jackalby. We'll make sure we can take care of that for you.
Kyle, Captain Kyrie says, I see streamers' feet all the time. It's when they intentionally show their feet.
Yeah, if they're like,
pull their feet up, be like, oh, look at my feet. You can't do
look
that.
at how beautiful my toenails are. You know, like
yeah, you can't do that.
That's not okay. Anything else to say, Sal, about our topics this week, or
no, let's hop on to Q&A.
Yeah, we can go ahead and move along to the Q&A. So for all of our streamers who are here watching live, please stick around. We'll get into the live discussion. For those of you watching at a later date, thank you for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you all around soon. Thank you.